In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front hub bearings on this Volkswagen Tiguan. These are going to be located behind the front brakes. Let's get into it. In the back, behind this cover, just twist to the left, pop that out. You can see where this is held down. We're just going to pop this holder off, pull the jack out. There's a utility bag right here. Open up the utility bag. And you want to find this pick. We're going to use that. Now take the hook tool that you got out of the back. And we're going to take these caps off. Pull those off. Using a 17mm socket, we're going to take these lug bolts off. Before I take the last one off, I'm just going to hold the wheel, prevent it from falling. And then grab the wheel, slide it off. Now I'll take the axle bolt out. I'm going to use a 24mm 12-point socket. Take this bolt out. We're going to disconnect this connector. Use a straight blade screwdriver. Just pop this little tab back right there. Disconnect that. We're going to take these two caliper bracket bolts out. We're going to leave it all together. Just use a 21mm socket. Loosen these up. I'm going to have to use an extension on the top one. There we go. Take those bolts out. Now pull the caliper off. Use a caliper hanger. I'll just hang this from the coil spring. Using a T30 socket, we're going to take this screw out and grab the rotor, slide it off. If it's stuck on there, you want to take a hammer and just give it a tap right there. You're going to remove these ball joint nuts. You're going to use a 16mm socket, take these out. You're going to separate the control arm, pull it down. Slide this out of the way. You can pull the axle out. Just pull that out. Set that aside. We're going to disconnect the wheel speed sensor. Just push down on the tab underneath. If you need to, you can use a pocket screwdriver. Just rotate that up. Disconnect the connector. Then we're going to take this bolt out. Use a T30 socket. Take that bolt out, grab the sensor, wiggle it out. Might have to struggle a little bit. Use pliers if you need to. We're going to take these bolts out on the back side of the hub. We're going to use a triple square socket. This is a M12. Get this lined up. I'm just going to give it a little tap. These bolts are pretty rusty. Pull those out. Do the same for the others. There we go. Started moving. There we go. Pull that out. That's the last bolt. Now we're going to take a hammer and just give it a tap on the backside. It may just pull out, but ours is a little bit rusty. Now I'm going to take the shield off. Our hub's stuck on there a little bit more, then I can get in there with a better angle or even use a special tool to try to take this off. Use a T30 socket, take these screws out. One more screw here. There we go. Take that shield off. You can also use a bolt from the backside. It doesn't have to be the bolt that came out. We just have one that threads in the same pitch, and then use a hammer. Just give it a tap. And just tap it out. You can see there's a little gap. You can move it to the other holes so it comes out evenly. Tap the bearing. It's coming out. There it goes. There you go. There's the bearing. I'm going to use a wire brush, just clean up any of the corrosion that's on here. All right, that's good. I'm going to take a thin coat of anti-seize just to prevent some of the corrosion. Now, slide the hub in place, get that lined up, and get the bolts started. So I'm just tightening it, going back and forth to the different bolts just to tighten this down evenly so it comes in to the knuckle a little bit more even. Just gonna move the axle out of my way. There we go. Now we're gonna torque these bolts to 51 foot-pounds and then an additional 90 degrees. I'm just going to alternate corner to corner, again, just to make it even. Take the speed sensor, line that up, get the bolt started, snug that down, take the connector, lock that in place. That's locked in, that's good. Now we'll put the shield on, line that up. Snug those down. I'll take a little anti-seize, just give it a squirt, just to prevent corrosion in the future. I'll put the rotor on, get this lined up with the threaded hole. You can put the screw in. And just snug this down, not too tight. Now take the brake caliper, take the hanger off. slide it over the rotor. Put the bolts in. And we'll snug these up. And we'll torque those once the ball joint's back in place. And connect the connector. Lock that in place. Now get the axle back in the hub. And just turn the hub a little bit, get that to line up. That's good. Get the studs lined up. And you can put the nuts on. Put the nuts on. Now tighten these down. Now we'll torque these nuts to 73 foot-pounds. Now we're going to torque these bolts to 148 foot-pounds. That's good. Now put the bolt in, get that started, and we'll snug this down. We're going to take 2 of the lug bolts, get those started. Take a pry bar. This is just going to prevent the hub from spinning. We're going to torque the nut to 147 foot-pounds. And before we go any further, I'm just going to spin this 180 degrees or 360 degrees. And we'll go again. Just make sure it's torqued. And then you want to go an additional 90 degrees. That's good. And take the bolts out. Now install the wheel. Get that lined up. Get the lug bolt started. Snug those down. Now we're going to torque the lug bolts to 89 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. And just go around again, double check. Now we can put the caps on. And just push those on. Now take the pick tool, put that back in the utility bag. We'll wrap this up. And just tie it up. Place that back inside here. And take the jack. Get that lined up. This little tie down. Just pull that through. Take the door. Slide the 2 little tabs in the base. and then twist it closed. All right, that was a quick and easy job. Now you can take the vehicle to a local shop to have it aligned so you don't burn the tires out, and you'll be good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.